A fast food joint, the clatter of trays, and the sizzling sound from the kitchen fill the air. A guy, wearing a hoodie and a grin, sits at a corner table, eating a burger. He's casually wiping ketchup off his chin. A mysterious man, dressed in dark clothes, walks in and heads straight toward him. Jason's eyes flicked over to the guy, amusement curling his lips. Bored, huh? The guy grinned, taking another bite of his burger. Bored? Nah, I'm living the dream right now. This burger is my soulmate. He looked down at it, almost lovingly. Best relationship I've ever been in. Jason raised an eyebrow. Yeah, well, that burger's not going to save the world. The guy paused, staring at his burger like it might just solve all his problems. Look, if you're selling me on some save the world gig, you're gonna need a better pitch. I'm already committed to this burger, my dude. And honestly, it's got more going for it than most of my exes. Jason shook his head. You're a strange guy. What's your name? The guy flashed a grin. Theo. Jason nodded, as if he'd found the right one. Nice. So, you're saying I need to do something other than eat fast food to make my life interesting. Jason glanced around the place, eyes sharp. How about fighting a monster? Theo looked up. Wide-eyed. A monster? That's a bit much for a Tuesday afternoon, don't you think? But all right, I'm in. As long as I can fight it with one hand and hold fries in the other. Priorities, man, Jason chuckled. You'll need those fries for energy. Just don't expect your hands to stay clean. Theo picked up a fry, dipping it into the ketchup with exaggerated care. This is my weapon. Don't underestimate it. He raised the fry like a sword. And I'll never be caught without it. Jason shot him a deadpan look. You're ridiculous. But you've got guts. You need them. This thing could tear a city apart. Theo's grin didn't waver. Hey, I multitask. I'll save the world and have a good meal while I'm at it. That's my superpower. You'd be surprised what I can get done while snacking. Jason couldn't help but smirk. Fine, if fries and jokes are all you've got, let's see if you can back it up. Theo leaned back, wiping his hands on his hoodie. So, when do I get the superhero costume? Do I get to choose the colors, or are we going for that whole dark and mysterious look? Because, I gotta say, I look really good in neon green. Jason shook his head, but there was a spark of amusement in his eyes. You're not getting a cape. The only color you need is the color of survival. He paused, his expression hardening. You're going to need more than jokes to keep up. Theo leaned forward, all confidence, theft, jokes are my thing. Unless we're fighting a super hungry monster, I think I've got this. I'll keep my fries close and my wit sharper than my sword. Jason gave him a long look, then nodded. All right, Theo, let's see if you can handle this. You're in. Theo finished his burger, grinning like he was ready for whatever chaos would come next. The conversation takes a sudden, later turn as Jason speaks with more curiosity. Jason leaned back in his chair, glancing sideways at Theo. So, let me ask you something. How do you feel about getting into trouble? Theo paused, taking a beat to think. I mean, it depends. Is this one of those don't ask questions situations? Because I can't promise I'm a good influence, Jason smirked. I wasn't talking about your burger crimes, Theo. I meant real trouble. You know, hacking into systems, changing things you really shouldn't be changing. Theo froze mid-bite, his eyes narrowing. He leaned in, suddenly defensive. Jason smiled smoothly, letting the tension slide off. Oh, nothing. You just have that certain aura about you. The kind that says, I may or may not have convinced an entire tech company to switch their Wi-Fi password to password 1 to 3, and then sent a thank you note. Theo blinked, momentarily thrown off. You did your homework. You're a scary guy. But I gotta ask, how do you know all that? Did you get one of my exes to spill the beans? Jason chuckled. Nah, not an ex. Let's say people like you get noticed. Especially the ones who think breaking into systems is just a hobby. Theo leaned back, trying to play it cool. Well, Jason, if you're implying I was a hacker with questionable judgment, you might be right. But hey, I got banned from two major banks, a military-grade tech firm, and one particularly angry vending machine company. So I'm basically a legend at this point. Jason raised an eyebrow, eyes twinkling with humor. A legend, huh? And what's your current job? Can't be all bad, right? Theo looked at him deadpan. Well, let's just say my current occupation involves heavy research into the fascinating world of fries. My resume's still under review, but I'm hoping for a full-time position as a professional fry critic. Jason stifled a laugh, leaning forward. Man, you really are something. So, what's your plan now? You've had your little hacking adventures. Think you've got a shot at something bigger? Theo shrugged nonchalantly, taking another fry. Well, I did try applying to be a superhero. But apparently, unpredictable genius who once changed the Netflix algorithm isn't what they're looking for. Jason chuckled. Yeah, I can see how that might be a red flag. But hey, if you ever want to make it up to society, I've got a monster that could use a guy with your unique set of skills. Theo smirked, looking at Jason with mock interest. And what makes you think I'd be the perfect fit for your monster fighting team? Jason grinned, because, Theo, you might just be the only guy crazy enough to handle it. And besides, who else could hack a monster's brain, rearrange its code, and still have time to criticize a fast food burger? Theo leaned back, contemplating the offer. All right, I'm in, but you're getting me a cape. And make it neon green, otherwise, I'm out. Jason snorted, shaking his head. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you no cape's gonna save you from a real fight. Theo leaned forward with a mischievous grin. Oh, Jason, you just wait. I'm about to save the world and probably annoy the monster in the process. Jason laughed, shaking his head. I can already tell this is going to be way more fun than I expected.